Welcome back. The Grand Bahama Utility Company says city water has been fully restored to the island, but officials admit that there has been some isolated challenges. However, they say consumers should not be alarmed. Italia Hall reports.
Residents were without city water after Hurricane Matthew, but as of last week, operations at the Grand Bahama Utility Company were back to normal, with water flowing from east end to west end. Operations manager of the utility company, Ezekiel Hall, says the public water supply system is the safest, most reliable source of potable water on Grand Bahama.
We are thankful that our groundwater resources and above ground bulk water storage reserves were never compromised during and after the passing of the hurricane. No water quality issues arose from the passing of Hurricane Matthew.
Hall says the department is aware of isolated reports of a red discoloration in the water supply
and wish to inform those thereby impacted to rest assured that this is a periodic occurrence that is inherent in the use of iron water supply pipes. There is no cause for alarm.
He says in such a case, consumers should contact 350-9045, 350-9042, or 350-9260 and report the problem so immediate action can be taken.
I wish to commend and thank the staff of GBUC for their stellar performance. Likewise, I wish to say thank you to our strategic stakeholders for their unwavering support and team spirit that they have brought to us.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
More financial assistance coming in for the residents of Grand Bahama, a corporate entity from the Turks and Caicos Islands making a significant donation to a local organization. Sabrina Brown has the details.
Waterloo Investment Holdings Limited, a conglomerate in the Caribbean, donated 2 checks to the Rotary Club of Freeport, totaling more than $15,000 to assist with hurricane relief efforts on Grand Bahama. Property Administration Manager at Blue Haven Resort in the Turks and Caicos Islands, a subsidiary of WIHL, Sanaja Forbes says, when they learned of the devastation in Grand Bahama following Hurricane Matthew, they were compelled to help, so they organized a fundraising event and pitched the idea to management.
Our original plan was to meet and ask for $1,000 to purchase items for our fundraising event. My CFO, Mr. Stuart Howard, is a real tough cookie, so we were a bit worried. He then said, Sanaja, I tell you this, go and get your sponsorship for the items you need, and whatever funds you raise that night, I will match it dollar for dollar on behalf of WIHL.
President of the Rotary Club of Freeport, Darren Cooper, says the organization is grateful for the goodwill gesture.
We assure you, I assure you, as the president of this club, that we will do diligence. We will do what is required of us. This fund that has been given to us, this is not going to be chaired by the president of the Rotary Club of Freeport. This is going to be chaired by our membership committee, which is chaired by past President Constance McDonald.
Cooper outlines how the funds will be spent.
We're going to take out of this check $13,436 is going to go to contractors direct. We're going to provide vouchers, or we're going to provide POs as we do our assessments, and that's going to go into building materials. $3,000 from that is going to go to Sawyers, and Sawyers have agreed to give us a few dollars extra on it, and we're going to provide food vouchers.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, Bank of Canada Freeport branch making a big donation to 2 local organizations on Grand Bahama. Kimberly Mullings has the details.
Antoinette Carroll retired from RBC this past May and was recognized as a community leader in the institution. Carroll is also a member of the Pilot Club of Lucaya.
It was presented to me for outstanding contribution in the Bahamas, and this is the northern region in which we are a part of. When one receives an award like this, they're given a choice to have funds for any charitable organization that they would be affiliated with.
Freeport branch manager Derek Sturp says RBC is a global initiative to assist the communities in which they operate. They were pleased to assist Carol with donating to the charities of her choice.
We thought it fitting that RBC, as we say, that fine, we believe in helping our communities prosper. So when we think about the Dye Award, you guys are helping those that may be somewhat challenged within our communities, and you're making a difference to society as a whole. And when we look at Lewis Yard, you're raising the future of this nation.
Mavis Ward, pilot and manager with the Grand Bahama Health Services, and Dr. Daphne Adderley Sands, consultant psychiatrist at the Dye Award of the Rand Memorial Hospital, both agree that the donation means a lot.
Pilot Antoinette, as we know, she has been in the pilot club for a very, very long time. And service is something that she lives for. We thank you for remembering the Dye Award, and this donation would go a long way.
We have a lot of patients with challenges, especially those who lack family support, and this donation will be able to have supplies like toiletries and clothing and activities that they won't have if no one was to bring it to them, and I know they will be greatly appreciated.
The Pilot Club of Lukaya, under the presidency of Karen Ferguson Bain, initiated a breakfast program at Lewis Yard Primary School. Principal Juanita Hanna says the monetary donation will go a long way.
We have come through a very challenging time, and as we have been relocated to the Church of the Good Shepherd Parish Hall, we are so grateful at this time to receive such a donation, and so we just want to say thank you on behalf of the staff and students and the Ministry of Education.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Kim. In other news, the Grand Bahama Principals and Vice Principals Association preparing to host a major annual event this coming weekend. President Gio Walker says as a result of Hurricane Matthew, the association was forced to postpone a number of events. However, they are moving ahead with this year's college fair.
Schools would have been closed for a period, but are now up and running again. And many of the plans that this association would have had to put in place have been postponed as a result. However, in an effort to move forward, we will begin with the annual college fair. This is slated for this Sunday, November the 20th, at Bishop Michael Eldon Auditorium, and it will run in the afternoon from 1 to 5 p.m., and all high school students are encouraged to come out and see what colleges are offering in their field of interest.
Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy is coordinating this year's fair. Interim Principal Edward Johnson and Guidance Counselor Pastor Wayne Carey are working to make sure that this event is a major success.
Thus far, we have about 18 colleges that have registered and ready to go, including the University of Prince Edward Island, Florida Memorial, and a first-time comer, Lynn University. Also, we have coming Holland College, Messiah, Jordan Southern, and several other colleges out of the U.S. that have been supporting our fair for the last several years.
We brought in Ms. Ann Russell from the Ministry of Education, who laid a foundation in terms of giving kids the opportunity to understand the government scholarships and also the private scholarships. And also what she did, she kind of let the kids know the portfolio, what they need to present.
Institutions will also be involved, including the University of the Bahamas, Babsy out of Andros, and the Bahamas Maritime Institute. And now it is time to ask the doctor.
This is Ask the Doctor. Welcome. Mary asked, I was recently diagnosed with diabetes. How do I know what type I have? Thanks for your question, Mary. Type 2 diabetes results from the body being unable to use insulin effectively. 90% of persons with diabetes around the world have this type, and it is largely the result of excess body weight and not exercising regularly. Symptoms can range from having none to severe, depending on the type of diabetes you have, and may include frequent urination, increased thirst, hunger, feeling tired, blurred vision, poor wound healing, and frequent infections. For many, these signs and symptoms are very mild, leading to the reason why many people with diabetes remain undiagnosed. High blood sugar levels can cause damage to blood vessels in the body, including those leading to the brain, eyes, heart, kidneys, nerves, and sexual organs in feet. Unfortunately, many of these complications progress without signs and symptoms, so early screening and prevention are essential. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Ricardo Liborn has a check on sports when we come back.